Okay. Hey guys, welcome back. Um, yeah, I guess this is. I'll do 2 more episodes or maybe 3, and then that'll be it for real. So, um, I'll go back to Mario Sunshine maybe. It's nice. I don't know when I post the first episode of a new game, people watch it more. So it's like kind of exciting. Like but um, I don't know if there's any other games I can play. I had a note about like old movies. I wanted to talk about. I watched an old movie last week called Rebel Without a Cause. It's one of James Dean's movies, and I really liked it a lot. And maybe it was I don't really watch a lot of older movies, and I was thinking like I really should, because I like in older movies how it's just talking. Everything is just talking. Characters talking about what they should do, and I really like that. I think that might be like counterintuitive to somebody. Like, well, you have social anxiety and you don't like talking, so why do you like movies with a lot of talking? Why do you like? I like being around people who talk a lot, because obviously it's like, well, then I don't have to talk. And it's really satisfying to watch other people talk and have it be like have purpose and have it make sense. I remember a couple of years ago I watched the whole series of Gilmore Girls on Netflix. And I think part of the reason is just like it's a lot of talking, and I just liked listening to them talk. Like sometimes I wasn't really paying attention to the episodes, but I was still listening to them talk, and it was nice to just have on. Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of old movies, but I should. I just like the way they're shot too. I mean, this movie's like amazingly shot, and I know this isn't like the standard for every old movie. Rebel Without a Cause. It's like critically an amazing, like well received movie. So I know not all old movies are like this, but I really liked it, and I should watch more. When I saw the movie, I guess I was worried about James Dean. I heard a lot about him. Obviously, everybody knows James Dean. He's like this cool guy. He's like this cool young 50s guy. And so I was kind of worried to watch the movie, because I was like, I'm not going to really relate to this cool guy because he's cool and I'm not. But I really liked his character. I don't know if he's I don't know if he doesn't have a lot of movies. I don't know if he typically plays this kind of character or if it was just this movie. But he played it perfectly. I don't know how to really describe it. It's like he's like a loner, but he doesn't like being a loner. But he's also kind of comfortable with himself, which is cool. But he's like also kind of awkward. Like the first scene that he's in the police station, he's like crying. It's like, well, that's not a cool thing to do, especially in the 50s. And he tries to punch the police officer and he misses. And he's like, well, that's not cool. A cool guy would hit him in the face, right? So I really like that. The whole movie is, I guess the whole idea is like, well, what is it like to be a man? What does it mean? What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to have honor? Are you supposed to tell the truth? Or are you supposed to help your friends? Are you supposed to have friends? So I really liked that theme. there are a lot of it is strange how like the first half of the movie is about, I mean the whole movie is about what it's like to be a man, but there's like it's separated into two different. Oh, I need fertilizer. The beginning, like the first half, is about him moving to this new school and dealing with like these bullies kind of who are like picking on him. And then, spoilers, one of the bullies dies, and he's like, well, I'm kind of responsible for this kid's death, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to tell the police? And then they never really conclude that point, but they go back, they just build on it and do another thing with, they introduce another character, Plato, and he's like friends with Plato, and Plato starts freaking out because he thinks, they really develop all these characters so well, because Plato's like this kid who's lonely, and he like his dad left or something, and he really gets attached to James Dean. And so once James Dean starts getting picked on, he's like, he wants to protect him, but then he starts like freaking out and he shoots somebody, and okay, I won't spoil the ending, but it's really good, and maybe I'll spoil a little bit. James Dean has a line that he delivers really well. It could be kind of lame. I'll spoil it. I'm just gonna spoil it because I like it a lot. Plato gets shot and killed. Well, spoiler. And James Dean, everything James Dean does makes sense. Like, he's trying to be a good friend and he's trying to protect his friend and he doesn't want him to get hurt. So Plato's like in this observatory and James Dean's like, well, I gotta get him out of here. Otherwise, the police are gonna, like, I don't know, barge in and start shooting. So he does everything he does. He does everything right. He gets the gun from Plato, and he takes the bullets because he knows Plato's not gonna leave the observatory without the gun. What's happening here? Oh, it's just the fertilizer. This is distracting. Is this the JoJo guy? Oh. This is kind of interesting. They don't do really... In Harvest Moon, they don't do anything like this with, like, storylines about, like, this supermarket moving in and stealing all his customers. That's a good idea, to have, like, little stuff like that. And the idea is, like, you used to work at the Joe corporate office or something. James Dean, James Dean, James Dean, James Dean. So James Dean has a line where he's like, I don't know, he delivers it really well. So I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna sound lame, but he's like, Plato gets shot, and James Dean's like, I've got the bullets. I really like that that delivery. It's not, I don't know, it's not a super well written line. It doesn't seem like, but just the way he delivers it, he really sells it good. Whenever I think of terrible, oh, I forgot to write down the time. Oh, I have 5 minutes. Okay. Whenever I think of terribly written dialogue delivered well, I think of the prequels. Star Wars prequels. I really like Ewan McGregor in those movies. He's a really good actor. So he has a line that I always think about in the third movie, where he's Anakin's saying some crazy stuff about like wanting to be a Sith and whatever. I kind of forget the context, but the line is like, Ewan McGregor's like, Anakin, what are you talking about? My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy. And that's such a lame line, but he delivers it so well. I think his delivery almost benefits from the movie being terrible because Anakin's turn from good to bad doesn't really make any sense. It's too quick, and it's like, I never thought like it made any sense. It's just like, well, we need Anakin to be Darth Vader, so here we go. He's Darth Vader now. So that line is delivered so well because it's like Obi-Wan is kind of saying what we're all thinking in a way that we're thinking it. He's like so frustrated with Anakin. He's like, what are you doing? Nothing you're doing makes sense. Why are you doing this? And that's how the audience feels, so it's kind of funny. We don't really understand why Anakin is doing what he's doing. Neither does Obi-Wan. But I should talk more about James Dean. Yeah, I was worried he's going to be like a Clint Eastwood kind of character. Like, he comes in like shooting everybody and he's like super cool. But he's totally not. And he's like unsure of himself. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. Like, there's a scene with his parents where he's asking his dad, like, what am I supposed to do? Aren't I supposed to be like a good man? Like, aren't I supposed to be honorable? And his dad is kind of like, they develop his character as like, well, he's kind of a weak man. He's like a man that you're not supposed to be. He's weak and he doesn't stand up for himself. And there's another line at the end of the movie where his dad, he's like, I did everything I could, or he's just crying over his friend, and he's like, why did this happen? And his dad's like, you did everything a man could. And that's kind of like the conclusion of the whole story, is like, he kind of did become a man, but there's still a cost to being a man and doing the right thing. Still, there can still be costs to it, and there can still be bad things that happen. You can't control everything, even if you do everything right, which is a nice idea. I'm not making any money. You really need to like get chickens and stuff. I really blew it with the... Maybe I should just go fishing tomorrow. See if I can get some fish. I talked a lot about James Dean today. I was definitely starting to feel sad, like, oh, I wish he was in more movies, because he's really good. I wasn't expecting to feel that way. He's in 2 other movies. I think I'll watch them. Why not? I got nothing else to do. I don't think I'll like the other ones as much as I liked this one. I think this is like his most well-reviewed movie, and he's good in it, but it's also like really well written and directed, and the cinematography is really good. Like it's in color, and it almost feels like a modern movie. It's weird. I never thought like, oh, this feels like a 50s movie. It doesn't, which is cool. Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye. James Dean, James Dean, James Dean, James Dean.